Thanks, Sajida. At Combined, we've always been proud of our stewardship of our finances. I'm delighted that the last year saw us delivering our 22nd consecutive year of financial surplus. Our strong financial performance enables us to invest wisely in nationally leading services, and I'm speaking to you in front of one example of that. Project Chrysalis is one of the most exciting capital projects Combined Healthcare has ever undertaken. The initial driver for Project Chrysalis was the Trust's successful bid for £10.6 million from available national capital funding for the eradication of dormitories in mental health hospitals. On reviewing our options for this, it was soon recognised that there was an opportunity to also extend improvements of the estate and ward configurations in line with the estate clinical strategy. Project Chrysalis sets out to improve the inpatient facilities and patient experience for 3 services delivered by the Trust, specifically adult inpatient services, LD services, neurological services. The primary project within the overall programme is the eradication of dormitories that exist in 4 of the adult inpatient wards. The project is centrally funded by the Department of Health. It also gives us an opportunity to consider the broader estate and service strategies for the organisation, which we can support by delivering these wider intentions in parallel. The additional projects are self-funded through the organisation's capital funds. The scope has been based on a number of aspirations to support the Trust's delivery of clinical services to the highest standards and enhance the overall patient experience. These aspirations include the following: eradication of dormitory inpatient accommodation provision in wards 1, 2, 3 and 7, eradication of shared bathroom facilities, learning disability service accommodation improvements including independent living facilities, improved accommodation for people with neurological conditions and flexible multi-purpose clinical space. But the successful launch of Project Chrysalis is not all we've achieved in the past year. As is traditional at a Combined AGM, I'd like to invite you to watch an animated film setting out our financial review of the year. But we wouldn't be Combined if we didn't introduce some further innovation. So, to introduce this year's AGM film, I'd like to introduce you to our newest digital member of staff, Fred.
Hello there. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Fred. That stands for Finance and Resources Expert in Delivery. But let's just stick to Fred from now on, shall we? I'm here to give you a brief overview of 2021, another successful year for North Staffordshire Combined Healthcare in terms of financial performance. Each year, as an NHS Trust, we have a statutory duty to break even, which means we cannot spend more than we receive in income. The national funding regime for 2021 moved away from control total as a result of COVID, and the Trust agreed a fixed system envelope with their STP partner. To achieve our element of the system envelope, we are required to deliver a trading surplus of £2,574,000. We are delighted to report that we delivered a 22nd consecutive year of balance, with an overall trading surplus of £2.7 million. Our total income in 2021 was £105.2 million. Our income comes from a number of different sources, including NHS England, clinical commissioning groups and local authorities. So what did we spend this on? Day-to-day spending on operations is classed as revenue expenditure, and in 2021 our total revenue spending was £102.7 million. Each year we invest some of our money in what is referred to as capital. This is money spent on long-term assets with a useful life of over a year. These would usually include spend on new buildings, improving our existing buildings, buying equipment or updating and extending our use of IT. In 2021, we spent £3.1 million on capital. The Trust enhanced our network devices, agile working and IT equipment to enable our staff to work remotely during the pandemic. The Trust invested in our properties on the start of a long-term national capital scheme to eradicate dormitories, which will see new national capital funding in excess of £10 million come into the Trust over the next 3 years. We also conducted important maintenance to our buildings and premises and invested in reducing the risk of ligature incidents. The NHS has to achieve value for money and provide the best quality for service users and carers. As with all NHS trusts, the money we have is limited, so we need to make sure that every pound is spent wisely. All NHS trusts have to demonstrate efficiency, but we have systems and processes in place to make sure that any transformation doesn't compromise safety. Our Medical Director and Director of Nursing and Quality make sure of this through an independent quality impact assessment process. Meeting our planned surplus and spending our capital monies are not the only statutory financial duties the Trust has to achieve. We also met our cash target at the end of the year by meeting our EFL, our external financing limit, which specifies how much more or how much less cash an NHS can spend over that which is generated from its activities. This limit is imposed in order to keep cash expenditure of the NHS as a whole within the level agreed by Parliament. And finally, we also achieved the 95% Better Payment Practice Code, meaning we paid at least 95% of our suppliers within 30 days. This is extremely important to the local economy as it ensures small and medium-sized suppliers are paid their cash owed for goods and services provided to the Trust in a timely manner. So a huge thanks to all of you who have made 2021 another great year for Combined Healthcare. We all have a part to play in this, and we should all take credit from this success. Thank you.
Our commitment to strong finances is matched by our commitment to research and innovation. It's my pleasure to hand over to our Medical Director, Dr. Buki Adeyemo, to tell you more.